And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, rock cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and rock cod Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with rock cod Rick Maxa. We're in the Mighty 1090 studios with El Presidente, Dave Pfeiffer from Shimano. We're going to have a great time here talking fishing and talking Shimano product. You just wait. Lots of good stuff to talk about here on Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice on the Mighty 1090.
If you love to cast surface iron and other jigs, plus fish the Shimano Waxwing, there has never been a reel that was made for the job until now. Shimano is proud to introduce Tranx, the dream reel for casting and retrieving lures, smoothness, castability, and powerful gears. Tranx has it all, plus the Shimano X-Ship feature for superior smoothness, increased power, and phenomenal gear life. Match all this up with 25 pounds of max drag and the game is over. Tranx has a low-profile design for ergonomic comfort and a variable brake system. Super free spool and level wind will allow you more consistent casting, unbelievable distance, and line management. No more line piling up on one side on your retrieve. Tranx can actually make a better jig fisherman out of you. Stop by your local Shimano dealer to see it for yourself. Tranx, it's not just a new reel, it's a way to fish. Experience Tranx on a Let's Talk Hookup on the Water seminar or the next casting contest.
Alaska is one of the ultimate fishing destinations in the world. This is Rock Cod Rick, and every year the one trip I look forward to is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. My dad and I have been going for over 15 years, and I just can't wait to go again. No one does it better than Kingfisher Charters. They offer the best service, the most comfortable accommodations, fantastic food, the finest fishing charter captains in all of Sitka, and the ultimate value. Sure, I've been to others, but time and time again, nobody beats Kingfisher Charters. You can catch huge halibut like the ones we do almost every year, and salmon, well, Sitka is famous for some of the best runs in Alaska. We also get plenty of rockfish and huge lingcod. And when it comes to fish processing, the best in Alaska is Kingfisher Charters. And listen to this, it's all included in your package. In fact, everything is included except the tips. It's truly amazing how the Kingfisher crew continues the quality of service they deliver year after year. Come and join me on the Let's Talk Hookup trip in June, or just go when you can. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com.
The offshore fishing this year has been nothing short of amazing. It's got a lot of San Diego anglers already dreaming about next year. Things may be cooling down a little offshore, but they're heating up at your San Diego County Ford dealers during the Dream Big Sales event. It's a great time to come in and check out incredible lease deals on Fusion, Focus, and Escape, or the big cash back available on America's favorite truck, Ford F-150, the truck of choice for San Diego fishermen. I've been driving a Ford truck for years, and I couldn't be happier with it. The technology is state-of-the-art. I can launch my boat with ease, and it's got all the room I need. And guess what else just started rolling in? The all-new 2015 Mustang. Just wait till you hear that throaty growl of that engine. It'll really get your blood pumping. December is traditionally a great time for two things: fishing in the bay and getting a great deal on a new Ford. So if you're ready to dream big and save big, don't miss the Dream Big Sales event. On now at your San Diego County Ford dealer. Stop by today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
All right, have our annual appearance by the president of Shimano America, and Mr. Dave Pfeiffer, our good buddy. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning.
Thanks for taking the time in your busy schedule to come in and talk to our listeners on Let's Talk Hookup, and it's always a pleasure, and lots going on at Shimano, huh?
Lots going on at Shimano. I mean, just lots going on in fishing in general.
Yeah, what a year, right?
What a year, and it's really not, quote, over. It's just it's just a continuation.
Just a different number at the end of 2000.
Yeah, it's just a different month, that's all, but it's in a different set of circumstances. But it won't be long before we're rolling right back into what we had last year or even better.
We'll hear later on in the show about Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, but what were the numbers you were telling me yesterday at Dana Wharf Sport Fishing?
Well, what I saw was like 97 on the Some Fun on the yellows and I think 40 on the Helena or something.
Whoa.
So it was a huge day. And
wow.
I couldn't go, so of course I looked at the reports and then saw that.
And then went, darn.
And then didn't sleep.
And those are just little rat 5-pounders.
Yeah,
right?
they're just the little ones that nobody cares about.
Yeah, not
And then,
really.
of course, I couldn't go today because I had to be here.
Oh, well, you can go after the show.
I was feeling a little ill. But
If you after the show, you could go. It's
well,
nice and flat. It's a little wet out there today, but that's
that wouldn't
about
matter.
it.
With a rocket ship like Dave drives, there is no distance that's too great.
No,
well,
it's
not far away,
especially when you're talking about 25-pound yellowtails.
Yeah, I know, and it's very close to home. That's a really cool deal.
What a year, and still just amazing conditions out there, too.
Yeah, I did. I couldn't go fishing because I had something in the morning, and then I took some family out whale watching. I was telling Pete earlier, but just water right out in front of Dana's, 62 plus, beautiful blue, just bait, mackerel, red crab, krill, everywhere you look. I mean, there's birds and there's whales, and it's beautiful.
It's cool.
I mean, it's really beautiful, and it's great to see. After 4 or 5 years of seeing just awful green, cold water and nothing to get excited about, it's really amazing. It's really great
time to take the family whale watching right now.
Oh yeah,
the whales
really
are
fantastic.
Yeah, they're
really
all
cool.
over the
But
place.
that tells you something too,
Yeah.
That all that whale coming through and coming in close. The guys keep saying they're just close. So,
yeah. Watch them from the Sunset Cliffs. See them spouting all the time.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
So, but that tells you where all the life in the bait is. But it's been that way for months. I mean, the yellows are on the beach, and we knew at the end of the season the wahoo, the marlin, everything was on the beach. Everything was on the coast. So, right when fuel prices come down, everything moves in on the coast. So no complaint there.
No complaining. Yeah, I filled my boat up day before yesterday. Cheapest I've paid in the water
ever.
Like a long time. And I'm talking, it was like, what was like $285 plus tax or something like that. I remember paying like $450 plus tax.
Sure.
I mean, back in a few months ago.
I think it's a period where for whatever's driving it, political or otherwise, we're just really fortunate.
Yeah.
That it's kind of all. Where it was all as far away, as completely unorganized as it could be with cold water, no fish, high fuel prices, stuff didn't want to bite. Now it's beautiful conditions, fish are close, fuel prices are low. Things are good. We really couldn't. I mean, there's just nothing to complain about. Everything is.
We're talking about 90 yellows at a Dana in January, the middle of January.
Yeah, and what's interesting, what struck me with that too is I know, believe me, I mean it's great. I'm not trying to downplay that. It's just that, we had. I told Barry the last time. I said, Barry, everybody's so amazed by this wintertime yellowtail. I said, years ago, him and I were fishing Clemente and catching yellows in December, January, every month, and I'm like. I guess we were doing something really special that nobody knew about. So, I mean, I think that winter yellows on the coast like this are really, really rare. Winter yellows in general are not rare, but to have as good a fish
and the spread of fish
and the spread of fish is really a great thing. I mean, it's up off Redondo, it's up off Long Beach, it's up Dana and Oceanside and San Diego, and so that just tells us that everything replenished in this warm water the way it needed to. And I'm not an old timer out here like. By any means, but the stuff is back on the old spots that people used to talk about that we only used to hear about. Yeah. Even Jimmy used to tell me, he's like, those fish yellows used to get on the such and such a rock or whatever on the cod grounds down there off Box, and I used to hear about that for years and think, yeah, sure. And that's exactly where they are.
That's where they are.
And not that I doubted him, but I mean, I just figured it was years and years and years ago, and that's where they are. So that's really kind of cool.
Yeah, cool. A great opportunity to catch winter yellowtail, and no reason for anybody to put their rods away, especially because of the weather too. We've had just spectacular flat, calm conditions.
All the stuff's in reach of. It doesn't really matter what size your boat is or anything like that. It's all in reach somewhere. You don't have to go too far, and it's very convenient, easy fishing. The landings have bait. If you don't have bait, you can yo-yo.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it just doesn't get any easier than that. That's really cool. It's great.
It's really awesome. And a lot going on with Shimano.
Yes. Yeah, we have, as always, a lot of new products coming out. I'll tease some today. Everybody in the office is going to be all mad at me tomorrow because I put all this information out. But we have a new Power Pro line coming out that's really exciting called Max Quattro, which I think will really kind of change or challenge a lot of people's thoughts on how they put their gear together and what size gear they can use. It's a new real high tenacity fiber that allows us to get high strength and even smaller diameter than we have now.
Crazy that you even talk about smaller diameter with Power Pro. I mean, Power Pro completely changed the game when it comes to diameter. I mean, how skinny that line is for how strong it is, and that you can make it even significantly smaller.
Yeah, and it's going to change. I think even the line is going to change the requirements of the tackle, which I think is really a cool thing. You're not just you can just use it, but you're not getting the full benefit. I mean, you're talking about taking, instead of a Talica 25, you can fish the same way with a 20. You can fish the same way with a 12 instead of a 16 with, and that starts to change your whole thinking of your gear and your layout and everything, which is really cool. And then, I'll tease that we'll be introducing a new torium that we just started talking with our retailers about this week, actually, that is going to be, well, at least I'm only going by what they're telling us. It's going to be very, very exciting. I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched, but so far the response has been really great on a reel that's been very, very popular with a lot of people, and was really, frankly, overdue for a renewal to kind of bring it up to speed to where I think our technology is today. And so that'll be coming. And then freshwater side, there's new crucial bass rods, and there's just really a lot of things in the works, as always.
I like it when Dave comes on, because if Mills or somebody else says, well, I can't say that, Dave will yell at me, but there's nobody to yell at Dave, so
they yell at you. They yell at you. They do.
I thought we were supposed to talk about
that. They just do it quietly.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
If they're smart. They do.
That's
and then I have to just say, I couldn't remember. Were we not supposed to talk about
that? Well, all these things were released to your dealers, because I heard all about it from Doug Kern the other day from Fisherman's Landing Tackle about the new torium. Yeah. Tell us a little bit more specifics, because Doug told me some specifics.
Well, it's obviously a much more modern design, and I think there's no secret that that the people see immediately some of the technology from the Trinidad, where we were able to reduce a lot of the sort of excess frame material to make the reel, even though the same capacities and everything as the existing or the current toriums, but the reel's a lot smaller looking overall, similar to what we did with Trinidad.
Lighter?
That makes it much, much lighter.
Yeah.
So a much better look for sure, which is one thing. But then the feel is better, because the whole styling and design is better. It fits your hand better. It's not as many sharp edges and sort of boxy. It's much more rounded and smooth, so it fits in the hand better, which I think helps you casting and holding it, doing a lot, because it just fits in your hand better.
X-chip?
There's a lot of good features. I'm not going to lay it all out, because I have some for the dealers. But the handle design is way, way improved, and the drag, and then all the specifications. It's still high speed, aluminum frame, aluminum side plate. So all the integrity's there. But yeah, you're going to see a lot smoother gearing, smoother casting, and in a really, really great looking package. So.
And a very easy on the pocketbook. Yeah. A very,
good
very
price point.
Yeah, it's a great reel. That many cool features out of a reel that we can all afford. It's really cool. Yeah. I think it's going to be awesome. I know that it is.
Sounds really good.
We're really excited. As far as the tackle shop goes, we're really excited, because it's a next level reel at not a next level price.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Yeah. I'm really excited about the new Power Pro. The possibilities of that for whatever, for big tuna fishing, for cod fishing, for any kind of fishing, really. Small. Everybody's kind of going smaller, more powerful, and this fits that right into that. Yeah. We always talk about Power Pro being so easy to tie. Mm-hmm. And great knot strength and such like that. How is this new Power Pro going to differ?
Same in terms of that. Yeah, it's very, very easy to tie. I've been playing with it for a while. You don't notice any difference that way. What you just come to expect, like I said, is that you're not using 80 anymore. You're using 65, even though the 65 has the same break strength as 80.
Oh.
So, but the way the knots feel, everything else is all the same, and the whole feeling of the line is all very, very similar. And but all of a sudden, you look down and you've got this really small, really high-capacity, powerful package that you're just kind of like, wow, I can really sort of change the sizing of everything that I'm doing, and whether it be your bait reels or your trolling outfits or whatever. And so I think, the people that are really, really tuned in to braided line are going to be really, really excited. I think if you're still new to Power Pro, to braided line, it'll probably take a little while to kind of kind of sift it out and saying, well, wait a minute, what do I really need? Because I thought I knew what I needed before, and now you're saying, and it's like it doesn't obsolete regular Power Pro because it's going to be quite a bit more expensive because the new fiber is much more expensive. But again, for very specific techniques and for people that I think are really, really educated and experienced with braided line, especially, they're gonna see the benefits right away.
Yeah, fantastic.
We always talk about advantages of Power Pro and how much better your bait swims because the drag and diameter is so much less with Power Pro than it is old school monofilament. Like how much easier it is for him to tow around 50 yards of Power Pro than it would have been 50 yards of Anchor Mono. Think about that same thing reduced yet again. There's that much less drag, that much less diameter. Bait's going to tow it that much easier.
Yeah, one of the examples this summer and when the Marlin were up on the Osborne is normally for even if I wasn't tuna club fishing with all that little light line stuff, I would use most of the time a 16, a Talica 16 or a Trinidad 16, and I took a Talica 12 and I spooled it with this new Max Quattro, and similar to what you're saying, all of a sudden now I had some people on board that good casters, maybe not always out there casting, and all of a sudden the whole thing was even a little bit lighter. It was a little bit easier to cast and control, and we hooked a beautiful fish. He did his thing and everything, and you look down and there was never more than a quarter of a spool of line off the reel, and this is on the 12 now instead of the 16. So, there's just no way you're gonna even on that size reel be out of line. And I caught it at the end, and this was a TAC 12 single speed, and he's just like, wow, that's really cool. That's really cool.
Exciting, man.
And like
that's
you said,
awesome.
The bait swims really well because the smaller diameter line cuts through the water better, and just everything about the whole package was noticeably just different already.
You can fish a narrow reel where before you had to fish a wide one. You had to fish wide because you needed that capacity. Now you can fish that narrow reel that fits better and feels more comfortable.
Yeah,
it's exciting, man.
Yeah. So when are we going to see Max Quattro? When are we going to see the new Torium?
Oh, we will see most of those start flowing in by March.
By March. Fred Hall, Long Beach?
That's the target.
Okay. All right.
I know we don't have a great reputation at hitting our targets, so when it comes to some of the stuff, I fully admit that, but that is the target.
Well, you're at the mercy sometimes of shippers and all that kind of stuff.
Well, there's a lot going on with a lot of things right now
with
the port, with a lot of issues, but nonetheless, that's what we're responsible for. So.
Yeah, that's the bottom line there. Now, of course, Talica continues to be just an amazing reel.
Yep.
The Talica 50, just probably the best big fish reel, period, on the market.
Yeah.
There's nothing even compares to it. Any plans on changing that line, adding to that line?
No planned change at this point, at least, not on the near horizon. And again, because like even now you take the 50, and we're still finding things that people are doing with the 50s that they've kind of really tentatively put their foot in the water, like the giant bluefin stuff. Right. And once they saw that they could catch giant bluefin stand up on a TAC 50, I was like, well, gosh, if I can do that, I can do what else is there really?
Seriously.
But now, like even sword fishing and stuff where guys are using conventional tackle, but now you talk about Max Quattro and the Talica 50. I don't know what is left out there that you can't catch on something like that, So
starting to have the line capacity that you would have had with your traditional 80,
or
out of a reel
even,
out of a reel that's small and fits, again
with more drag, with more everything. So Talica is really in a good place right now, and I think we just. Any further development depends a little bit on where some of the market trends go and where things are happening. Sometimes you're out in front of it and sometimes you're a little behind it. The core of the Talica line is good, but certainly there's some more development that could happen there.
What about rods?
Rods, we just continue to try to do the same thing. We introduced more Therese rods, especially with the carbon fiber butts, and that's really, really changed a lot of that style fishing rod because they're so light and so easy to handle.
They were already super light.
Well, I know, but for that kind of gear, where you're putting a bigger reel on a bent butt rod, and now that's just a whole. Those guys are going through the same kind of wow and mental transition that we went through with when we were fishing stand up with smaller Talicas and Therese and that sort of thing. So. So there's just a lot, really more additions within that line, but not any completely new lineups there yet. But, we still need to find, I think, some next generation materials and stuff that will stand up to our kind of fishing and see where it can, if it can go lighter or how much lighter, and still provide the kind of power and durability that we need.
Yeah. Wow. Lots of stuff going on. Lots to talk about today, and they're already lined up, ready to talk to Dave.
That's for sure. Well, it's going to be an exciting show, and like you said, so much going on with the fishing and such great information having Dave here. If you want to join us this morning, it is going to be a very busy morning on the phones, but we would love to hear from you. And there's two ways that you can reach us on Let's Talk Hookup. And first is with our local line. That'd be your best shot to get through right now at 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. That's a local number. Or you can reach us toll-free. That toll-free line, 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. And Pete, not only as you said at the beginning of the show, so lucky to have Dave in here, a very busy guy, getting to talk all kinds of cool fishing with us this morning. We've also got an awesome prize for one lucky caller at the end of the show today. We got to do it once before, and it's pretty darn exciting. Somebody is going to get the very first Torium 20A. So as soon as the brand new Torium 20s come out, you're going to
have to wait for it.
Exactly.
It's March or so, but
you'll be the
first one on the block.
You'll be the first on the block with the brand new Torium. And how cool is that?
And you're the only one that's going to like me for that.
Yeah.
My customers are going to hate, my retailers are going to hate me for that. The guys in the office are going to hate me for that.
Yeah,
so
but you
for
know
everyone
what?
else, I'm sorry.
For our listeners,
whoever that is.
Yeah, how exciting.
Man,
so
big deal.
As you can hear, just going to be an awesome show. Lots of fun, lots of great information. And if you want to join us, we want to hear from you. And when we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls. Lots of great fishing information coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Bubba had a dream. The San Diego Bay Bass Tournament is Saturday, January 24th, and Dana Landing in Mission Bay wants to help you get ready with a great sale and seminar on Saturday, January 17th. It all starts with a live Let's Talk Hookup broadcast at 7. Manufacturers' representatives will be on hand, and a giant sale on the tackle you need to catch big fish. Listen to these deals for one day only that Dana Landing will have. Buy any Abu Garcia Revel reel and get a matching rod free. Buy 3 Gulp packages and get 1 free. Take 25% off all MC swim baits and war bait heads. 20% off all clothing. Save 15% off seeker rods. Check out the East County Bait and Tackle booth and see their new custom rods. Now, here is the big news. From 10 to 11, there will be an ultimate panel discussion hosted by Pete Gray with Corey Sandin from MC Swim Baits, Jimmy Decker from Berkeley, Afron from War Baits, and Benny Florentino from Shimano. Learn the best techniques for catching the big fish in the bay. It's one day only, Saturday, January 17th, and only at Dana Landing, right across from SeaWorld, next to the Dana Launch Ramp in Mission Bay. Check DanaLanding.com for more details.
Everyone likes special treatment, kind of feel like a VIP. Well, that's how our listeners are treated at Poway Valley Collision. I have personally heard of several stories of how well our friends Jim and Mary take care of their customers that we sent them. Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. We know you may not need them today, but when accidents happen, it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. And listen to this. Our listeners get a special discount that can save you hundreds of dollars on your car or truck repair. Just tell them you listen to the show and you get the deal. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, Wawanesa, and more. Just bring your car or truck to them and let Poway Valley Collision do the rest. I have had my truck repaired at Poway Valley Collision, and the job was perfect. So get your vehicle fixed right at Poway Valley Collision. Tell them you listen to Let's Talk Hookup, and they'll save you money on your repair. Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com.
Are you feeling that itch to get out on the water? Come fishing on the American Angler and reacquaint yourself with some familiar faces and make new friends. Captain owners Brian Kiyohara and Sam Patella take pride in every aspect of the American Angler operation, from their loyal and trusted crew to the sashimi-grade fresh fish you'll take home. It's easy to find a vacation that fits your schedule. We have everything from day-and-a-half to 10-day trips and longer. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. We want you to become a part of the American Angler family.
In the past, AFCO has been known for its traditional fishing shorts. We now will also be known for our new line of next-generation board shorts. Features include 4-way stretch micro poly, pliers pockets, a stain-resistant finish, quick dry, UV protection, plus an AFCO exclusive, a bamboo charcoal inside laminate that is both moisture-wicking and antimicrobial. Available in a variety of prints and colors, these technically advanced board shorts continue AFCO's long tradition of providing the world's finest fishing shorts. Check them out today at Better Tackle Shops.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. You think people are fired up about being the first ever to get a brand new Torium 20?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
You just heard the voice of our good friend Greg Stotesbury, who will be a guest a week from today in the Mighty 1090 studios with us from AFCO, talking all the great AFCO stuff. And he's a good fisherman.
I was thinking on the way down how my fishing life has changed a lot because you go through periods and in short, yeah, I'm really busy, even though most people think I work in the tackle business. I don't get to fish as much as I used to, travel and everything. So I am so fortunate to have this group of people that I fish with. Jimmy Kingsmill, Barry, Greg Stotesbury, Dr. Mike Hansen. I mean, we fish well together. It's just I am so lucky. If you can find a group of people like that you can regularly fish with and fish so easy with and have so much knowledge on board, it's an awesome thing. And Greg
that's
is one
a key
of those guys.
deal. Yeah, Greg is so versatile too. Right now he's fishing green bass.
Oh yeah. Everything.
Everything. And you talk to him about catching giant largemouth bass. You talk to him about catching yellowtail, about tuna, marlin, swordfish.
We do a lot of tuna club fishing and tournaments together with the light line stuff, and I've learned so much from him on that. And now we have an annual thing, fishing the tuna tournament, and that's all with 8 and 12 pound dacron, and then the benefit tournament, which is marlin fishing and everything. And it's great, and I love it. Whether we do it on my boat or his boat, or it doesn't matter. It's just we get on and we know what to do. If we all get on my boat, we all know what to do. If we all get on his boat, we all know what to do.
Yeah.
So it's a really
good
cool
program,
thing, and I'm very, very, very fortunate. So
did you catch a lot of marlin this year?
I did not. I caught marlin this year, but my early season marlin fishing was awesome, and I thought this is going to just be the great year in the world. And we caught some bait fish, and we found sleepers, and and it was all just really cool. And then when it went to that scattered jig bite fishing, I was just blanking regularly. We would spend hours and days in the gyros and never see a fish. And all these guys were getting jig bit, and I have years in my center console where I get jig bit unbelievably well, and years where I don't. And this was the year,
right?
And I obviously was not very successful in making the necessary adjustments to get that to happen. But I honestly got frustrated toward the end of the season, and even though guys were still hooking them, I just went to other things because it was just it's not really what I enjoy, is that whole just trolling all day and getting a blind jig strike. I with no sign of bait, no sign of whatever.
You're not seeing feeders, sleepers.
No,
that
you're not
kind
seeing
of stuff.
anything.
Yeah.
You're not seeing anything.
And that's part of the fun in local marlin fishing is being able to see them on the gyros and cast a bait.
That's why I have a run and gun boat. And
yeah.
So early in the marlin season we had that, and I was excited, and we did catch fish. And I caught a 12-pound fish and 12-pound dacron fish that Jimmy and I got a tag in, and that was just really, really cool. And all that, and then, like I said, it just kind of went away, and then I just went away with it. And blue marlin were biting, and all that stuff was biting, and I just couldn't get the.
Yeah, but Steve Lasley's the only guy that can catch blue marlin.
Well,
if there's blue marlin around, Steve Lasley catches them.
Only guy that can tie one off to the swim stick. a lot of bites, but not a lot of
definitely the only guy that
successes.
can run like 60 miles, put the jigs in, and have one on the swim step in 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into those jam-packed phone lines. They want to talk to Dave Pfeiffer.
You got it, man. Well, let's jump in and start it off this morning with Sam, who's calling us from Irvine this morning. Sam, good morning. Thanks for getting us started here on Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning. I was glad to be the first one in. It's exciting to hear about the Torium. I've been eyeballing some Toriums lately because I have the Trinidad and I wanted a couple standbys, so that's going to be a great thing. But my question is, I bought a spinning outfit last year, and the fishing was good, but it wasn't quite what I wanted. It worked, but I want to get a good outfit for 40 to maybe 80-pound fish. And I was wondering what a suggestion for that would be. It doesn't sound like he has anything new coming out, but what they make now. I've been looking at those Saragosas, but what outfit would be the one?
Yeah, so I assume you're talking about fishing mostly out here with the spinning gear, and so therefore, are you talking mostly live bait fishing, or are you throwing plugs in different places and doing different things? Which are you talking about mostly?
Well, kind of all, both of those. I mostly fish it I go to the Coronados or on the offshore boats, the day and a half, 2-day boats, but I might do, a 3-day. I called the Searcher guys yesterday to talk to them.
The Saragosa has kind of quickly and quietly become like this really go-to big game spinning reel in markets all across the U.S., especially in the East and everything else, where it's really one of our later technologies, and we don't really talk a lot of spinning. So, on one hand, Saragossa is not really new. On the other hand, it hasn't been out for really that long. But all that aside, it doesn't really matter. It's out, and I would really, really recommend you zeroed in on what I think is really one of our best values in big game offshore spinning reels, and the Saragossa is it. Now, as far as a size for you, really, I think you're looking at, you're really pretty much looking at like a 10,000 for the size fish that you're talking about. You could go one size larger, especially with Max Quattro, or you could go one size smaller. But I think for what you're talking about, the 10,000 for the size fish you're talking about is really, if you put 50-pound Power Pro and a short top shot on it, it's a powerful machine with plenty of line capacity, plenty of drag, but really whichever is comfortable, a 10 or a 20,000. And I say this every year on the show, and I'll say it here before all the questions is, I am not a big person. I'm a really small guy. So for me, I'm always looking to go with the smallest size that I can get away with. But a bigger person can easily handle a bigger reel, and there's a lot of benefits to that too. So that's why I say, you go look, you pick it up, you feel it, and for the size of your hands, the size that you are, whether a 10,000 or a 20,000 is kind of more comfortable, and kind of choose and go from there. But all kinds of drag, plenty of line capacity, good gear ratio, just really good, solid, strong reel with all of our finest technology built in.
And like half the price of a Stella, right?
I don't remember offhand pricing-wise if it's half or whatever, but it's considerably
less than half.
Considerably less than half.
Yeah, less than half.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and it's got X-Ship, and it's got our new drag features. It's got it's all the critical features to a reel. It's just going to last and be very, very powerful.
Yeah, great reel. Fantastic. And what about a rod? What would you match that with?
Definitely for us, you go with Therese, and then it's just the appropriate length and action based on the line rating that you want to choose, whether you go 6.5 or 7 or whatever, but that's becomes pretty sort of self choosing.
Yeah,
that's a weird word.
And the cool thing about Therese is you make a popping rod, you make a bait rod, you make a rod that's right for casting. All of that is available. You go to your local Shimano dealer, and they're going to say, here's the rod you need to match with this.
And the rod is really critical and versatile, because you could take this Saragossa, to your point, Pete, and you could put it on a popping rod, string it up, and throw poppers when the tunas are on top, or if you're traveling, or if you're purely live bait fishing Southern California style, you're probably not going to fish that popping rod. You're going to fish maybe a slightly shorter rod for more stand-up style fishing. But very powerful stuff. Still, I fully maintain, very underrated in the West Coast. I mean, the attitude towards spinning in California is still the same as it was 20 years ago or however long ago.
It's getting a little better.
But generally speaking, despite the fact that the technology and the reels and what's being accomplished with spinning reels around the world has changed, immensely.
Yeah.
I would argue there's been far more rapid development of spinning reel capability in the last 20 years than conventional reel capability. Far, far more.
In the world scheme, because that's where you deal, are spinning reels for big game fishing more popular than conventional reels?
I can't really say more, but I would say if you really add up the whole world, I would say as.
Really?
Wow,
oh, yeah,
great.
Absolutely. When you take throughout Asia, Southeast Asia, when you take the East Coast of the United States, definitely. In fact, if you take the East Coast, I would argue at any one time a boat has far more spinning reels on board than they do conventional.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they will troll with conventional and then live bait with spinning.
With live bait.
Over and over and over again. That is the common, if they do dropbacks and stuff like that or whatever, casting baits to sailfish or what, they're doing it for the most part on spinning.
So let's take Southern California striped marlin fishing. You're casting a mackerel to a striped marlin. Would you cast a spinning reel to a striped marlin?
I would have no hesitation to fish a Stella 20,000 on a striped marlin.
Yeah.
None at all. None in the least.
Yeah. And for somebody that may not be as adept at casting a conventional reel, that would be the way to go.
Yes. Yeah. Certainly.
Especially that excitement when you see the fish.
Sure.
And, oh, man, here we go. And how many times do you backlash, right?
Yeah. Now, I'm going to contradict myself because my only argument against spinning in that case sometimes in the situation you brought up is that sometimes on a striped marlin, you have to be so precise with your cast.
Yes.
and you do have, I believe, more control as an experienced caster with a conventional reel and how you can thumb the spool and really target the bait. If all you needed were distance or like a drop back or something, I mean, that spinning is going to be like if you were throwing into a group of feeders, a wide open, and you needed distance because you're not able to get up on them or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. Or you're not an accomplished caster. But if you've got that one Taylor going down swell and he's showing and not, he's showing and not showing and showing and not showing and you're trying to position the boat and you got to make that one cast like perfect right in front of him. Yeah, I'm going to take a conventional reel because I know I'm going to get there and get where I want to be.
Get where you want to be.
So,
more control.
Yep.
All right. Hey, thanks for getting us started, Sam. Appreciate the call this morning.
All right. How about next up we talk to Luke, calling us from Laguna Niguel this morning. Hi, Luke. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Well, good morning, all. Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too, Luke.
I have questions for Dave. Actually, I have enough questions to take up the whole show, so I'm going to make it. I have three, two about new products and one about an older product.
So just fire them all here.
I'll just fire them off and then I'll be quiet. So the first one's on the new Power Pro. Is it going to have characteristics like the Super Slick or the traditional? Okay,
more toward the traditional.
Okay, that's that. Question two, the new Torium, might there be a 40 narrow in the plan?
Not anytime soon.
Oh, okay. Last question. I'm a surface iron guy, and my outfit of choice is a DC-20 married to a Terramar 10-foot extra heavy.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Rick. The DC. Mm-hmm. My fear is one day I'm going to walk into your location in Irvine, and they're going to tell me, we've just at a point we don't have parts anymore.
Yes.
How long can I rely on you guys to support my DC?
Well, it's a difficult question to answer. I totally understand your concern. The reason I can't, I'm not trying to avoid it, is that we have a sort of a standard year policy on parts that we base when a reel goes out of production. We say we're going to stock X number of years of parts, and that's based on a model of previous consumption of parts. The one thing we can't control is if that consumption of parts changes after we stop. So in other words, if the market consumes 3 years worth of parts or 5 years worth of parts in 3 years, then we may be out sooner than we expected. So that does happen. So that's why I can't answer your question.
Yeah. Are there issues? I've never had an issue with the DC.
Sure, we do.
Yeah.
But, that's all, some people want parts for stuff that's 10, 15, 20, 25 years old. And, we long since stopped manufacturing those parts, even though we may have estimated having, say, a 10-year supply. But like I said, somehow the consumption, that 10-year supply was consumed in 7 years. And now all of a sudden we don't have parts anymore. Yeah. So that's why I can't give you a really specific answer. I mean, we really try, but we have to analyze all those things and then, go from there. So, so I can't give you a specific answer other than, we stock DC parts and we do a lot of things. One suggestion might be is, I think by now you might know the more common serviceable parts and, maybe you want to pick up a few of each of those to have as an investment in the future of that product. And, as a side note, it's something that I wish we could have kept. The Trinidad DC was one of my sort of dream products, and I loved it, but it never took hold in the market such that we could keep producing it. Those that have them love them, and as is typical with anything, there's much higher demand when we stop making it than when we were making it, and that's one of them. And all my friends have raided my garage and tapped my own personal supply to the point where I'm left with none now, and they have them all, but it's a really cool product, and I wish it was still around. But like I said, the cost and the consumption just didn't line up.
I couldn't imagine going fishing without the exact outfit you just described. That is my core bread and butter, and I work in a tackle store that has access to use any piece of gear by any manufacturer, and to the T to what you described, that's my surface iron outfit. And my favorite piece of gear to catch a fish with it. There's nothing cooler than a surface iron yellowtail, and that's it for me.
Yeah, it works, definitely. But I must say that the new Trinidad A20.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, does that thing cast.
They cast. There's something about, though, when that DC makes that little whining
noise. Yeah, the whining. The jet noise.
Whether you're casting farther or not, you think you are.
Yeah,
and that's all that really matters.
Yeah. Luke, thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right, how about we jump back in and talk to Mario, calling us from Rancho Cucamonga. Hi, Mario. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, guys. My question is regarding the Calcutta Conquest. I know that it's a new reel that has been redesigned and I've seen the 100 and 200 series out there in the store, but I was wondering when the 300 and 400s are going to come.
You know what? I can't give you a date on that.
Tell us about the Calcutta Conquest first.
Well, the Conquest is really, more toward the top end in Calcutta that represent. It was kind of the evolution of the TE that we had before that represents, all of our technology with the X-ship and the cranking power, and I could just go on and on and on, but that's all out there. So, but I don't have a time frame for you on the 300 and 400 in that, because I don't believe we have anything in the near future.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thanks, Mario. Appreciate the call this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. We're going to check in with catch reports, more of your phone calls, lots of great info coming up. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Want to catch the yellowfin tuna of a lifetime but don't have weeks at a time to commit trying? Then check out Journeyman Sport Fishing in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Based in Nuevo Vallarta, Journeyman offers an angling dream come true. Outstanding world-class fishery, immaculately maintained and outfitted boat, ultra-limited competition at the rail, and a Journeyman crew that has the experience and passion to make your angling dreams a reality. A 2 1/2 day trip offers 2 full days of fishing from sunup to sundown and only requires 4 days away from your other commitments. In the 2013 season, Journeyman landed dozens of yellowfin over 200 pounds and several over 300. Choose the trip that fits your schedule. 2 1/2, 3 1/2, up to 8 days of the ultimate fishing for giant yellowfin tuna. For complete details, check the web at journeymansportfishing.com or contact 619-571-1979. Journeyman Sport Fishing, where angling dreams become reality.
It's time to talk about great gear from Shimano. And while we're talking Trinidad, let's talk Trinidad A. And I got to tell you, when you take an iconic reel like the Trinidad and you change it, don't change it.
Don't do anything.
But Trinidad A is so amazing.
Yeah.
What makes it so amazing, Dave?
It's that mystery of engineering when there's certain reels all throughout history that we just get right. And there's certain ones that maybe we don't, in all honesty, but this is one that we just got right, where just the size, the ratio of the spool to the material, the power, the feeling, we just got it right.
Yeah. So what if you're a Trinidad fan and you have a Trinidad 30 or a Trinidad 20? How are you going to feel about the Trinidad A if you go to a 30 or a 20?
Well, I certainly think you would like it even more than you did before, and it's similar where I think if you were a 30 user before, you'd probably be able to use the 20 for most things now.
Yeah.
But even if you stay with the 30, that's fine because it's lighter and that better ratio of spool to frame and material and everything, and that, they're just, it's
lighter.
just one of those reels that always feels right and good in your hand.
Stronger.
Lighter, stronger, faster.
Easier, the whole thing. Trinidad A from Shimano. Check it out at your local Shimano dealer.
A new veteran-owned business that makes one of your go-to pieces of tackle even better. EngravedCedarPlugs.com provides custom engraved cedar plugs of all sizes for gifts, promotional items, advertising, awards, or just your lucky custom lure. They can engrave anything. That's EngravedCedarPlugs.com. Check them out. EngravedCedarPlugs.com.
If you're into the water, I mean getting out and going fishing, diving, surfing, shark diving, or kayaking, you need to check out the Islander at islander-charters.com. The Islander is San Diego's leader when it comes to 2 to 5 day fishing. In addition, the Islander offers kayak mothership trips, spearfishing trips, and more. Watch the website for trips and adventures available. You won't find a more knowledgeable or well-rounded team than Captain Shane Slaughter, John Conniff, and crew. Experience the Islander difference. Visit islander-charters.com for all the details.
XEPRS 1090 AM Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Padres.
To a home run, Kemp again.
San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Hey, as promised, it's time to find out what's biting out there. And today, the Catch Report sponsored part by Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Get the finest fish processing while you wait from your local, your long range, or your private boat trip. Time to pre-book your processing order before you go on your next long-range trip. By doing so, you're going to be the very first up and have your fish processed and ready to go very soon after your trip returns. Just call Sean or Rosie and pre-book your processing order now. Nobody does it better than Fisherman's Processing. Check fishermansprocessing.com for more details. Got a little bonus to the catch report today. Captain Mark Gillette of the Eclipse on the line. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Doing great.
We're just coming in from a day-and-a-half trip down to the famed Punta Colonet here this morning, and I was kind of lost for words of the fishing that we saw yesterday. I mean, you know, we think of Colonet as the place to go catch rockfish, and at some point, most points of the day, we just couldn't get through the yellowtail to get to the rockfish.
Oh, what a bummer.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, and what's even better is that fish is as big. I mean, as many fish as we have over, 28 to 35 pounds, we have under 18. So, which is probably like 4 or 5 fish. Everything else is 22 to 28 pounds, and we're just biting a yo-yo. People that couldn't fish the yo-yo were fishing 60-pound on dropper loops. They were eating ganyons. It was, we had a shot out of school down there. It was one of the biggest schools of yellowtail I've ever seen, since I've been running this boat. And, we got it. I mean, we just got it done in 45 minutes. At one point, I looked around with 24 passengers on the boat. If you didn't have a fish on the deck waiting in line to get your fish stapled, you had a fish on. I mean, it was absolute chaos. It was, and all happened throughout the day, but it just kept getting better and better. So it was a pretty special day yesterday here for us.
Wow, all in flat, calm conditions too, right?
Oh, it was gorgeous. Yeah, we're coming in the jetties here at Mission Bay right now, and the weather's flat calm. It's been flat calm since we left the jetties, and Friday night, and it's just as flat as we're coming in.
Oh, what a great report. Rad. Okay, so what's next? Are you going to do it again next weekend?
Yeah, actually, it's great that you got Dave on there. We're actually, SoCal Salty is paired up with us, and Shimano's sponsoring the trip next weekend. It's only got, I think, 2 openings left. Shimano's coming on and bringing a bunch of rods and reels. Mark Mills will be on the boat. They're bringing some gear for folks to use and try out, and I got to call Mark and make sure, he's going to bring a bunch of Lucanus jigs, but I think he needs to bring some stuff for yellowtail here next weekend as well.
Flat fall, right?
I'll make sure all the passengers have enough coffee to keep up with Mark Mills.
Oh, that'll be great awesome, time. Mark. So if you want one of those 2 spots, how do we get it?
Yeah, you just go on to eclipsesportfishing.com. You'll see a list of our trips through the wintertime. Any weekend that you're trying to get out with us, and we're already either full or chartered, you can go on the Commander. We do have that boat available at a Fisherman's Landing, but we do have some 2.5-day trips coming up. I think our next openings are the last weekend of January, get you in Super Bowl Sunday morning. Aiming to fish San Martin Island and Colonet here for that trip. So that's the next available other than the 2 spots on next weekend's trip.
And you have satellite TV on the Eclipse too, and can watch the Super Bowl, right?
Well, we'll be getting in Super Bowl morning.
Oh,
so
you get in Super Bowl
Thursday,
morning.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You can leave
Thursday night.
All right, very good.
But we do, for the next weekend trip, we do have satellite TV, and you guys, we were watching the ball games last night down there, and yesterday all day when they were taking breaks to eat between yellowtail fishing there yesterday.
Gee, sounds cool. Fantastic. Captain Mark Gillette from the Eclipse out of C4 Sport Fishing, eclipsesportfishing.com. Better get on there and book it right now for next weekend. Appreciate the call this morning. All right.
Thanks, guys. Have a good morning. Thank you.
Mark. All right, well, let's head on up to Dana War Sport Fishing. I know, man, that was very busy here. Captain Brian Willie's on the line. What's up, Willie?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, Dave. How's everyone doing?
Good morning. Wow, what a day yesterday, huh?
Man, that stuff finally bit like it's supposed to.
That's cool.
Yeah, gosh, we started off with just the week was slow for us at the beginning of the week. We saw that fish really good the first 3-4 days of the week, and it just didn't want to bite. We got on it good. It came under the boat good. The water was nice. It was just one of those head scratchers wise in this stuff biting, and on Friday, we were finally able to see a little bit of light. We got 49 fish for our efforts on Friday, and it was one of those, all right, cool. It's just finally getting it together. But yesterday, just phenomenal day. We ended up with 97 fish on the boat. So Helena was down there, too. He had close to 40 fish. I think he had 39, 40 fish there for his efforts. And, the stuff just bit. There's good sign. The water's gorgeous. There's life everywhere. Good bait, red crab. There's dolphin stuff. The water's just fantastic right now. 60, 61 and a half, kind of like that, so it's just good, clean water, and the stuff's just biting. Good setups. Guys fishing the yo-yo jig, of course, biting. We had some guys fishing the vertical jigs the other day, and oh man, they were wailing on those yellows with that stuff. Just put the wood to them for sure with that stuff. good dropper loop fishing too, you know, so it's covered. We're just telling guys, come prepared, you know, bring your heavy line, 65, 80 pound, you know, Power Pro with, you know, your heavy leader, 40, 50 pound leader, guys fishing 50, 60 pound monofilament, you know, just come with the heaviest stuff. It's certainly going to pay off for you in that regard. You know, these fish aren't line shy at all. So just come prepared, bring some sinkers, bring plenty of jigs. And, you know, if you want to call the landing to get some info on tackle, of course, call them. They'll get you dialed in. Halibut Derby's out today. I believe they're going to be out there in this weather. I'm off here today, but hopefully they're out there and see if they can get a few more fish on that leaderboard. Big fish there is 21 pounds, 8 ounces, I think, is the top of the leaderboard. Certainly there's some opportunity to see some bigger fish fill in some spots on that as well. So that's kind of where we're at. You know, we got open trips all week. You know, I'm running 3/4 day on the Sun Fun all week. So call and book, and we'd love to have you guys out there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I got the opportunity to see you guys on national news for the whale watching last week. That was pretty cool to see Dana Wharf on the headlines of the national news with how great a whale season it is.
Oh, the whale season has been phenomenal. You know, you're in between catching yellowtail, you know, you're seeing pods of 4 or 5 gray whales swimming right through the fleet. So it's been amazing. So
pretty fantastic. Time to go fishing. All right, how do we get a hold of you?
All right,
Brian.
thanks, Pete. You can call us at the landing. The phone number there is 949-496-5794. Okay, you can check us on the web as well at danawharf.com. And if you want to save a few bucks, okay, you can link us right through the Let's Talk Hookup webpage and save some money on one of these 3/4 day trips. And it'll take you right over, and you can book with the discount code that way.
There you go. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Brian. We'll look forward to talking to you next week. And, gosh, hopefully that fishing keeps continuing, man. Appreciate the great report.
That's it. Yeah, I don't know why it won't bite. So we appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Have a good show.
Thanks, Willie. All right, time to hit the surf zone. The surf guru, Gundy Gunderson's on the line. What's up, Gundy?
God, a Yelto bite's like Groundhog Day, huh?
Yeah, man.
We'll take it.
Keep it rolling. Yeah. Keep rolling.
Yeah, we had another good week, you know, of fishing. Some really good conditions, really fishy inside here before this weather. Good tides on the backside of the full moon, I think, was one of the things. You get lots of moving water, and that's always good for surf angling. Hook, line, sinker in Santa Barbara reported nonstop perch bite. East Beach, Goleta were top spots for those guys. Pretty much most of the beaches holding schools right now. Gulp sandworms and Bloody doing the trick for those guys. Also, really good mixed bag in the Rocky Kelpie areas. Chunky cabezon. They sent me a picture of a 5-pound cabezon caught off the rocks there off East Beach. Strip of squid is the way to go. Johnny bass, chocolate rockfish also in the mix there. Wiley's reported excellent perch fishing, easy limits on fish to 1.5 pounds. Oxnard beaches, south of the pier, Sunset, all producing Sunset and PCH there. Grubs, cut squid, mussel working well. 2 anglers came into the shop yesterday, reported 2 short halibut, 2 corbina, limits of perch with the 2 largest at 14 inches, and an 18-inch calico bass. Now, that's a heck of a surf session for a couple of young guys. They're fishing south of the Chart House there, and they're still seeing plenty of corbina all through that area. Big Fish reported fast action on perch off Bolsa Chica, Surfside, Sunset, Huntington Cliffs. Grub bite has been excellent. Christmas tree, motor oil, red flake, all working well on the grub colors. Leopard bite good too on whole small perch. Those guys are really knocking those big 20-pound leopards. Hogan's reported the jerkbait bite still going off Capel Bay there. Halibut are short to just legal with some kickers mixed in. A 34-inch fish was reported taking on a sardine there off Doheny, but there's definitely some halibut in that area. And the good lures to throw have been the flash minnows, 95, the smaller one, and the 110. And, of course, my favorite, the X-Rap, XR10. White has been the hot color there for that halibut bite. So, boy,
wow,
what
man.
to do all week. Excellent fishing, Pete.
Oh,
that's
awesome, fantastic, Gundy. Well, always a great surf report from Gundy Gunderson, the surf guru himself, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
Yeah, find some time to work on them reels, I guess.
Yeah, you better. All right. Appreciate
Thanks,
the call, Gundy. Talk
Have
to
a
you
good
next
week, gentlemen.
You too.
All right, well, let's talk to the man, the Bay Guru, the everything, inshore, offshore. Captain Al Clower's on the line. What's up, Al?
Morning, guys.
Morning, Al.
Hey, I went through my log. I wanted to share this with you guys. I went through my logs in detail yesterday. I went through over every trip and counted all the fish, so I figured I'd share all that with everybody this morning. Just keep in mind I'm a small guy, for 3 to 4 guys on my boat. So in the San Diego Bay, I had 63 trips last year in 2014. Islands I had 10. Kelp beds I had 9. Offshore 36. Lobster 17, and the lake 18. So with that being said, fish counts for the bay, I had 2,090 spotted bay bass, 162 sand bass, 29 halibut, 49 corvina, 22 shovel nose, 12 smooth hounds, 16 leopards, 22 bat race, and that's all for the bay trips. And then the island stuff, 184 mixed rock cod, 22 meat cod. Then the offshore, 6 makos, 4 threshers, 6 hammerheads released, 302 yellowtail, 409 yellowfin, 36 dorado. Then the 9 kelp bed trips, 298 calicos, 23 barracuda, had 6 white sea bass. And then for the lobster stuff, which is still going, up to date, have 198 keepers and 473 shorts.
Wow, that's
and then the lake, 381 largemouth for 18 trips.
Shows you the flexibility of Captain Al Clowers there, doing it all, and baytime and lobster fishing right now. And if somebody wants to go fishing and catch a lot of fish, it sounds like, based on your 2004 statistics, how do we get a hold of Captain Clowers?
You can call me directly at 619-800-FISH. Go to my website, CaptainClowers.com, or pull me off a Let's Talk Hookup. And the fishing's really good, and if they call me, I can hook them up with some discounts during the week right now. So
yeah, and
take the boat running. You know, last week I had 3 trips. This week I have 1, so I'm going to fill up some spots. So give me a call. I'll take care of you.
Make a deal right now. Take those kids fishing with Captain Clowers. You won't be sorry. Thanks, Al. We'll talk to you real soon. Appreciate the call this morning.
All right, well, hey, that's going to wrap up our catch report. Let's jump right back into the phones, this time talking to Roger, who's calling us from Fullerton this morning. Roger, good morning. Thanks for joining us on Let's Talk Hookup.
Morning, Roger.
Hey, you're welcome. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great year, too. I think it'd be a great idea to go to searchersportfishing.com and book a trip. Hey,
Absolutely.
Dave, I got a question for you about, has Shimano ever thought about a 3-speed?
Honestly, I wouldn't say never thought about it, but I would say not really considered it all that much. Kind of hard to figure out what that really brings to the party, so to speak. You know, I think in general, in most conditions, the vast majority of the time, most people don't spend that much time between single and 2-speed except for on really big fish. And so I'm not sure where the 3 would come in. If anywhere, it would probably come in more in a chair situation than a stand-up situation. And that is because I think your situation fighting a fish changes much faster in a chair/yacht situation than it does stand-up. You know, that's because of boat speed and everything else. Stand-up, things are pretty, once that first part of the fight's settled down, things are pretty static. I mean, they don't really change that often. Whereas, you know, if you're chasing a big blue marlin on a yacht, that thing could be dogging you, and the next minute he's running 40 miles an hour to your bow, and you're chasing him full speed or backing down, and you might need some really high speed, you know, pickup of line or something. But so anyway, that's a long answer to tell you no, not really considered it that significantly, or seen really a lot of interest on the market side that's really specific, other than just technologically speaking. It's possible. You can make as many speeds as you want, probably. So yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. Another full hour, including a big block of your phone calls. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
For Rancho Leonero, here's John Ireland.
I'll talk to guests and I'll say, well, how was it? And they say, well, you could talk and improve the fish. And I said, sure, you know, if I had a switch, I would, but how'd you do it? They'll say, well, we fished 3 days and we released 2 marlin and we caught 4 dorado and a bunch of rooster fish. The fishery is intact. Mother Nature's amazing, and fishing's good down there. Tuna showed up, big dorado, good billfish, a good striped marlin. The fish photo gallery is interesting. We do honestly make an effort to update it daily. So it gives you a real good idea of what's being caught at the ranch. Another interesting thing that we have a real-time camera that points off of the front porch of the hotel. A lot of people come on the website just to take a peek and see what the weather's like at the ranch. RanchoLeonero.com. Anytime, I encourage you to come visit Rancho Leonero. I'm proud of it. It's my home, and I'll make sure that you have a great time. I'll personally take care of you.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
Come to your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman for the latest in guns, the hottest fishing products, and the best shooting gear. With 17 Southern California locations, including 2 in San Diego County, Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prizes and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Every week, you can check out fantastic specials on fishing, hunting, and shooting gear by logging on to their website at turners.com. Or better yet, stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find the location nearest you, check the web at turners.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM Rosarito, Baja California.
The best NFL coverage is right here.
Oh my goodness!
San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Information is the key to success, and inside information is even better. When it comes to fishing, inside information is critical, and that's what FishDope.com delivers. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and save fuel. FishDope.com is the only SST service with a satellite oceanographic PhD on board. The only fish finding service with a spotter plane. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com boasts the largest code group anywhere, covering sport boats, commercial boats, and private boaters. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. What I'm telling you is, if you don't have FishDope.com, well, good luck. Membership costs less than 40 gallons of gas for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, stay tuned for the special code to save $20 on a FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
You've made the investment in a boat, and you know how important it is to take good care of it. That's why you need Monsoon Yacht Service. Mark and his staff specialize in taking care of your boat and making it look its best. No matter if it's on a trailer or in a slip, let Monsoon Yacht Service clean and polish your boat to make it look like new. Monsoon Yacht Service also does fiberglass and gel coat repair, custom rigging, and the best detailing you have ever seen. Be proud of your boat again with the help of Monsoon Yacht Service. 619-405-2176 or check monsoonyachtservice.com.
The offshore fishing last year was some of the best we've seen in years. Let's hope our luck keeps up in 2015. It's a brand new year, and what better way to kick off a new year than with a new Ford? Once again, Ford is America's favorite brand. Just take a look at last year's sales figures. It's right there in black and white. It's easy to see why Ford is so popular. Styling is contemporary, the technology is state-of-the-art, and the fuel economy is more impressive than ever. Fusion, Focus, and Escape continue to be San Diego favorites, and the new Mustang has the entire city buzzing. You've got to check it out. Right now, you'll find the biggest savings on F-150 pickups. The last of the 2014 models are going fast. And talk about popular, Ford F-Series has been America's best-selling truck and a favorite among fishermen for almost 4 decades. In fact, a new F-Series truck is sold every 43 seconds. Imagine catching a fish every 43 seconds. You'd be popular, too. Start the new year in style. Stop by your San Diego County Ford dealer. They'll be glad to hook you up.